The Legion of Boom didn't just win games, they broke offenses, and it all started with how Pete Carroll ran his nickel defense. This wasn't just a situational package, this was one of the backbones of the Legion of Boom, the most feared defense of the 2010s. From 2012 to 2015, Seattle led the NFL in scoring defense for 4 straight years. They made back-to-back Super Bowls and completely dismantled Peyton Manning's historic Broncos offense in the Super Bowl, and a ton of this was accomplished in their nickel personnel that didn't play soft, it played violent. Now this breakdown today is just one part of a full defensive series I'm building for Madden 25 and College Football 25. We're dropping 4 total defensive breakdowns covering both the 4-3 and nickel defenses that Pete Carroll built at USC and later perfected with the Seahawks, and we're calling it the Legion of Troy defense. Now if you want to check out what I've released for this whole scheme, I will link the playlist down below. At its core, the Seahawks nickel defense is all about one thing: controlling modern offenses without compromising their physicality, and this will be our main answer whenever we want to play this Seahawks defense and we're playing someone who likes to spread, who likes to have multiple wide receivers on the field and wants to pass the ball a decent amount. Now, this isn't your typical nickel defense. We're still operating out of a 4-man front with a single high shell, but we're doing it with size and speed. This formation gives us the spacing and coverage tools to match up with 11 personnel and spread sets, but we'll still have the juice to stop the run and get after the QB. Then this package is where the Legion of Boom thrived. Pete Carroll built a defense that bullied receivers, erased seams, and punished anyone who caught the ball in space. In our system, we want to tap into that same style. Play fast, play physical, and make offenses pay for testing the middle of the field. Then we're going to rotate between cover 3 match and our cover 3 man hybrid. Every snap looks the same pre-snap, but post-snap we're moving pieces all over. This makes it tough for quarterbacks to read, especially when we start mixing in our disguise, blitzes, and pressure from different levels of the defense. So we want to stop the run early, then flood passing lanes with defenders that the QB never saw coming. Once we face obvious passing downs, we'll rotate through our blitz and coverage packages, hitting with man pressure, zone exchange looks, and rotations that throw off timing. So the big nickel over G formation gives us all the flexibility of a modern sub package while still allowing us to play fast, and it's designed to keep offenses uncomfortable from the first snap to the last whistle. Now we're going to get into the backbone of this Legion of Troy nickel defense, the coverage package. This system is built around a variety of cover 3 and match coverages, all designed to disguise intentions pre-snap and then lock down the passing game post-snap. Pete Carroll has always been the master of coverages. From USC to Seattle, he built elite secondaries by tailoring his coverage rules to the talent around him and putting his defensive backs in position to make plays. The first play we're looking at is cover 3 buzz match, and this is going to be one of our base calls in our Seahawks-style nickel defense. It's all about looking like a basic cover 3 zone, but it converts into a matchup zone post-snap based on the routes the offense runs. It's a hybrid between man and zone that adapts in real time and helps us lock down popular spread passing concepts. So there's no need for heavy adjustments here. Just call our cover 3 buzz match and big nickel over G, and versus any 2x2 set, you want to use a little linebacker who's in the hook zone opposite of the running back. Then versus a 3x1 or an empty 3x2 set, use the weak side hook curl. What makes this defense so good? The seam flats are going to match verticals or outbreaking routes by the number 2 receiver and convert to man coverage. This helps eliminate easy throws up the seam and throws along the sideline. Then our hook curls will play second to the flat. If the seam flat runs off, hook curls will rotate and then take the next player to the flat, and this usually will be a running back or a late drag across the field. The corners are going to sit in deep thirds but react based on what the seam flat does. They'll start in zone, and then if the seam flat mans up, they're going to convert to man on their wide receiver. So there is built-in leverage on this play. Seam flats will wall off inside releases. Hook curls will help inside, and deep thirds sit high and outside to erase vertical concepts. This creates layers of coverage that funnel the ball into their help. So as the user, my big thing is I'm playing the hook curl over the middle of the field, so if there's crossers coming, I can help match these down the field. And then I have the second player to the flat, so if I notice the seam flat gets run off and a drag or running back goes to the flat on my side, now I'm going to run down there and take that away. So if you want a full deep dive on every adjustment and rule for cover 3 match against 2x2 and trips looks, I've got an in-depth PDF available for download up on Scheme Kings that you can check out. Then our next coverage is going to be WS Blitz 3, and this is our cross-man coverage at a big nickel. At this snap, it starts off looking like our standard cover 3 with a walk down safety, but quickly shifts into a man-zone hybrid look that can throw off pre-snap reads, and this is especially deadly when paired with our other 3 cover cover 3 pressures and our cover 3 match defense. So to set this up, call WS Blitz 3 out of big nickel. You want to man up to the walk down safety on any player you want on the field. It can be a slot receiver, tight end, or running back. Then we want to man up the linebacker in the 3 rec on any offensive player on the field once again. So this can be any slot, tight end, or running back. Then we can shade up or down with our coverage to put either hards or curl flats on the field. Then we want to use the deep safety, and we're going to play over the middle of the field. This coverage works best when you prioritize manning up the inside receivers, because for most players, this is going to be who they look to throw the ball to the most often. So we can use a cross man technique where defenders man up players on the opposite side of the formation. This can be great to take away deep crossers and any in-breaking routes because they're going to run right into the man players. Or we can use straight up man techniques. This is keeping defenders aligned with threats on the same side. So versus 2x2, we typically man up both slots to eliminate these routes. Versus trips, I look to man up both slots on the trip side and let the zone shell clean up anything else. Now you're going to use the high safety and you want to be patient over the top, but if you have nothing taking you deep, then you can jump underneath routes once you're sure all the deep threats are covered. Then the remaining defenders in zone coverage are in perfect position to help bracket any outside throws and create double teams on crossers and corner routes. And if you want to take your college football 25 game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, we have part 2 of this Seahawks nickel defense. I go over 5 more plays on the site that include 2 more lockdown coverages and then 3 more blitzes, so you can have a ton more variations to throw at your opponent, all while staying out of this big nickel over G. Then we do have a ton of videos upcoming for this Legion of Troy defense that will be only found on Scheme Kings. And up also right now, we do have a 4-3 USC defensive scheme for college football 25 that you can access on the site today. Then there's also a ton of different content you can find on the site. We have our super spread offense, where I break down 3 of the most explosive passing attacks in NCAA history and show you how you can run them in college football 25. We have our triple option offense, inspired by some of the greatest option attacks we have ever seen. We have defensive schemes like my Nick Saban defense that works for both Madden and college football, and a complete Bill Belichick career defense tailored for Madden 25. So by subscribing to the site, you'll get full access to all of my Madden and college football 25 content for one price. And you can purchase a yearly membership, which will save you $50 over the course of the year. And I'm also running my Legion of Troy launch sale, and it's going to run until June 15th. Use code PETE at checkout for 50% off your first month if you go with the monthly membership. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I will leave a link for it down below in the description. Now we're going to get into the pressure side of our Seahawks nickel defense. Just like the coverage package, our blitzes are built to confuse the quarterback before the snap and then collapse the pocket after it. And the key here is we want to have really similar pre-snap looks as our base calls, which makes it tough for offenses to identify where the pressure is coming from. Carroll's defenses always featured smart, fast pressure packages, especially out of these nickel looks. With athletes like Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright in the linebacker core, Seattle could send blitzes from the second level and cause a ton of havoc for QBs. So first up, we have Mike SS3. This is one of our easiest and most effective blitzes in our Seahawks over G front. It brings 5 rushers while keeping a cover 3 shell in behind it, making it a safe, reliable pressure that blends seamlessly with the rest of our coverage looks. It's especially deadly when the offense goes 5 out in protection, because we're almost guaranteed to get a free rusher. So to set it up, call Mike SS3 out of over G. You want to use the 3 rec hook linebacker and bring him down 1 to 2 steps towards the line. Then you can shade up or down to change your flat defenders into hard or curl flats based on the situation. So what makes this work? It is a great 5-man pressure with the cover 3 defense behind it, so it can be safe but aggressive. The blitz path brings pressure from the second level, often letting our nickelback fire in clean, or it can be our linebacker looping from the second level that comes in untouched. So if the offense sends all 5 out, we're going to usually at least get 1 free rusher in. Then the middle of the field stays protected with our 3 deep zones, who are going to play over the top and keep everything in front of them. And then as the user, we're lurking in the middle of the field, and we're just looking to pick up any hot reads for the quarterback. Then the second play we're looking at is Casino Blitz. This is our all-out pressure call out of our nickel package. This is a pure aggression blitz, 0 coverage in behind it, sending 6 defenders after the quarterback. Now, no matter what, this blitz will almost always create immediate pressure. It's a great change up when the offense starts feeling comfortable and you want to put the QB in survival mode. So to set this up, call Casino Blitz out of big nickel over G, shift the D-line away from the nickelback, and then bring the linebacker on the nickelback side down 1 to 2 steps, and he'll be our user. So this is an all-out pressure man look, so you have to have some really solid man coverage players in behind the blitz so you can survive on the back end. Now, if the offense sends everyone out on routes, you're opting to get 2 rushers in free, but for sure 1. And then even if they block their running back or tight end, you'll still likely get at least 1 defender free, which forces quick throws or sacks. And then as a user, you're responsible for whoever isn't manned up pre-snap, and usually this will be a linebacker, but sometimes a tight end or a slot. Now, if they go out on a route, you just want to man them up and cover them, but if they stay in a block, now you're free to help over the middle of the field and pick up any crossers or hot reads. This blitz is high risk but high reward, perfect for 3rd and long, red zone moments, or when you just want to guarantee that you will get pressure. Now, stopping the run out of certain nickel formations can be tough, but big nickel over G gives us the tools to do it. The Seahawks under Pete Carroll were known for playing fast, violent run defense, even when they had smaller personnel, thanks to their disciplined, smart fits and defensive backs who played physical and could come downhill. We're doing the same thing here. We're going to have our safeties involved in run fits a ton, a sturdy 4-man front, and linebackers who are going to scrape to the ball, and this gives us the speed and angles to rally to shut down the ground game without needing to get out of our big nickel over G looks. So our go-to run defense is going to be cover 4 quarters. This defense starts with a match shell, but we put hard flats on the field by shading down with our coverage. This allows us to put 9 players in the box and have excellent angles to fly downhill on the run, and then we keep solid coverage in behind it in case the offense does try to pass. Now, to set this up, call WS Blitz 3 out of the huddle. Then we want to audible over to cover 4 quarters once the play starts. So make sure quarters is in your run D. And the reason we do this, because in WS Blitz 3, one of our safeties is going to automatically walk down to the line of scrimmage. Then we want to use the other safety and bring him manually down on the opposite side of the ball. Now this will give us 9 players in the box. Then we want to shade down and put hard flats on the field, and this will convert the whole defense into a drop zone coverage and cancel all our match rules. Now, why this works so well? So both of our safeties here are going to be in run fits. So now as soon as they see a run play, they are going to attack the football, and this just really ups our ability to stop the run. Now we want our defensive line to eat up blocks so they can keep our linebackers and safeties clean and allow them to fly to the football. We want to user one of these safeties on the field as well, and this can really allow us to track outside runs, take care of cutbacks, and just close really fast to the football. Now, if they do end up passing, we're still going to be really solid. We have our 2 guys in the flats, we have the 4 deep, and we have a linebacker in the 3-rack hook over the middle. That is going to really help us bottle up most kind of play action pass plays that we'll see out of these run formations. So this is a perfect balance between speed and structure, just like those classic Seahawks units that could play the run out of any personnel. Then WS Blitz 3 is the perfect complement to our quarters run defense. It gives us a very similar aggressive pre-snap look with the strong safety walk down in the box, but now we're turning it into a pressure call, and if they run the ball, we're still in a great fit to stop it, and if they pass, we're sending heat with a built-in cover 3 shell behind it. So to set it up, call WS Blitz 3 out of big nickel over G. Then we want to slant our D-line out. We want to bring the linebacker who's in a 3-rack down 1 to 2 steps. Then we want to shade up or down to put either hard flats or curl flats on the field. So pre-snap, this will look pretty much identical to our run defense, so the offense won't know we're bringing the blitz. Now, if they do run, we still have 8 players in the box with that safety walk down and the linebackers ready to fill in all the gaps. Then if they walk down, that safety becomes a blitzer and will come in completely free off the edge if they send everybody out on routes. Then with a cover 3 shell in behind it, we're still going to be in a good spot. With our deep coverage, our players in the flat, and then our 3 receiver hook user locks down the middle of the field. Now, just what you have here for this Seahawks nickel defense will be a great start, but remember there's part 2 of this defensive scheme already up on Scheme Kings, so you can take what you learned here to the next level. And if you want a full breakdown of the overall vision behind the Legion of Troy defense, including a deep dive into the personnel we're using and how it all ties together, make sure to check out the full intro video for the entire scheme right here.